It's time for this canning extravaganza to be over. Welcome to Little Farm Big Dreams. My name is Denise, and everybody okay out there? Okay. And tonight I am beginning my 2025 journey in canning and preserving. Tonight, due to a number of circumstances, all positive, but you know, life happens, I'm canning my pickled asparagus starting at just about 11 o'clock at night. Let's see what time I end up getting to bed tonight. So this is my first time pickling asparagus. I have never preserved asparagus in any way, shape, or form. I'm very new to preserving. So keep that in mind. I am not an expert, but my friend Chelsea from Little Mountain Ranch a couple of weeks ago posted a video where she pickled asparagus, and it just got me inspired. So I am going to be following her recipe, and I'm going to put a link to her video down in the description of this video below. So if you want to go check out how the experts do it, you can go see what Chelsea did, because I might adapt it and play around with it a little bit, but still following safe canning guidelines. And so with that, let's make some pickled asparagus. First, we have to start by preparing the brine, the vinegar brine that the pickles are going to be preserved in. And so you want to have a vinegar that is at least 5% acidity, and this is the vinegar that I have, and apple cider vinegar for the flavor. This is what Chelsea used, so I'm going to do that too. Because I'm not exactly sure how many jars these asparagus are going to end up filling, I'm going to follow the same recipe Chelsea did and create 12 cups of brine, just to be sure that I have enough. So 12 cups means 6 cups of vinegar, 6 cups of water. So I'll do 3 of the white vinegar. So this is a 2-cup measurer. That's 2. That's 3. And then I'll do 3 cups of apple cider vinegar. 1, 2. And that's 3. And then 6 cups of water. See? 2, 4, that's 6. To this, we will add 2 tablespoons of pickling salt. 1, 2. Chelsea also added sugar to her brine, but I think I want to do some with sugar and some without so I can compare. So I'm going to start the brine without the sugar, and then after I've jarred a few of them, I'll add some sugar when we get to that. So let's get this started on the stove, warming up so that the salt dissolves and everything combines beautifully, and then we'll finish preparing our asparagus and get them jarred up. So asparagus, are you a lover of asparagus? It's hit or miss, I guess, for some people. I love it. And I bought 4 bunches of asparagus. Look at these beautiful large bunches. I'm making a mess with all the water. Look at that. Look at that. I got these at a local farmer's market. And the reason why I'm pickling these so late at night is because I've had them for a few days and time just got away from me this week. I was being ambitious by thinking I'd get to them before now. So just don't want to wait another day. I want them to still be fresh and delicious. Well, because it's always best to preserve your food when it's fresh. So I just don't want to waste any more time. And so the best part of the asparagus to eat is the top part that isn't the woodsy part. And I don't know if you've prepared asparagus before, for those of you who are new to it, all you have to do is hold it and it'll snap naturally at the place where the woodsy part is. So the bottom will be woodsy, the top will be tender. So I'm just going to snap all of these. It's very satisfying. Some of them snap really high. Wow, see? Yeah, that's woodsy. It's hard to eat. Actually, I'll just bring all of them over. That's better. So the jars that I picked were literally a copycat of Chelsea's. They're these 750 ml jars, mason jars. These ones are from Bernardin. I got them at Canadian Tire. I'm in Canada. I live in Ontario, Canada, for those of you who are just new to our channel. And aren't they just so pretty? These tall, slender jars. Kind of perfect for pickling asparagus, wouldn't you say? I was debating which direction to put the asparagus in, because putting them upwards is pretty and everything, but then when you try to pull them out after they've been processed and cooked, I feel like the tops will be pulled off. And the tops, let's admit it, they're the best part. So I'm thinking I might put them in upside down actually, so that I can pull them out by the thicker part of the vegetable. So best canning practices, and listen, again, I'm coming to you as a newbie at this, but best canning practices were always to sterilize the jars beforehand. It is no longer required. You just have to wash them with hot soapy water, run them through your dishwasher on a hot water setting, and then the processing time that they're in the canner will actually get them to a hot enough temperature that it will sterilize them during the processing. So I should probably measure with one that's a little bit straighter, shouldn't I? So it needs to be cut about here. Now, I don't want these little bits here to be wasted. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to collect them in a separate, smaller jar, and I'll just have little tidbits to use. All right, so based on this little guy here, ooh, this is boiling nicely. Just give that a little stir. The salt has dissolved. I'm just going to turn that off for now. Okay, so I'm going to measure these off, and I'm going to lay the jar on its side to plop them in, because once I'm done doing that, that seems a little short actually. Look at that nice big piece that's left. Ooh, we're going to have so many pickled asparagus. Let's see if this one's the right length. Yeah, that's better length, so I'll use that one as the example. Okay, here I go. I'm being awkward. It's too late to be canning. I personally can't eat garlic, so I couldn't take a bite out of this. It would make me quite sick. But garlic flavor is okay. So I'm going to only put one piece of garlic, to Darren's dismay, in each jar. So I'm going to scooch by, stuff it in there. Let's see how this is looking. Oh, that's looking good. Now, ideally, I would have had fresh dill to put into these pickled asparagus, but it is not dill season around here yet, and I couldn't find any in the grocery store. So I have some freeze-dried dill from my cupboard, and that's what I'm going to use. 1 teaspoon of dill, and yeah, it's gonna make it kind of like, there's gonna be floaty green bits in there, but whatever. 1 teaspoon of dill, a few little peppercorns. 1, 2, 3, put 4. For this one, I'm going to put a little pinch of red pepper flakes. I'm not a big fan of spicy food, but Darren likes a little bit of heat. Well, actually, he likes a lot of heat in his food. And so a little bit of garlic, a little bit of maybe 5 little sprinkles there of red pepper flakes for a little bite, a little kick. And then I'm going to stuff in a few more asparagus till I can't stuff any in no more. Maybe I'd be less awkward if I moved things out of my way. I'm going to actually cut this one a little shorter so that it fits on top of where the garlic is. You see that? I'm going to squeeze it in there, and it's going to sit right on top of where the garlic is. Okay, and now I will continue this, and once I'm done filling all of my jars that I want to make without any sugar in the brine, we'll start adding the brine in. Here I go, in fast speed. So I've got 3 jars ready for brine, plus 1 jar of the little tidbit pieces. So let's bring our brine over. This will be for our next batch with sugar. What time is it now? How are we doing for time? Okay, it's 11:22. We started at about 10 to 11. So yeah, like it's been about half an hour to just prep all that. That's not too bad. Since we've used about half of the brine for this first batch, I'm gonna just assume that there are about 6 cups left, and it's 1 tablespoon of sugar per cup of brine. So I'm gonna put approximately 6 tablespoons of sugar, maybe a little bit less. Are you a sweet pickles person? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe I'll just do like 5.5. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I mean, it can't be that bad. It's asparagus and vinegar. It's delicious. So I'm going to put the brine back on the stove to dissolve that sugar. And in the meantime, we're going to get started on jarring up the rest of them. And I've been using my debubbler chopstick here to shove it in. And then I put the shorter ones, that are just naturally shorter, on top of where the garlic is. And that makes them fit more easily. And there you have it. Okay, I'm gonna eat this one. So good. I don't know. Will that be good? I hope so. Getting to the bottom here, I'm having trouble scooping it up. Sugar ones, non-sugar ones. So now we debubble. Debubbling means running something that will not scratch or damage or crack your jars into the filled jars to release any potential air bubbles. So we are debubbling the jars. Okay, damp cloth to wipe the edges. The reason for that is to ensure a proper seal, because if there's any debris, maybe some little pieces of dill or something like that, it will prevent the seal from being true and safe. And that's when you run into problems with canning. Now, since this one is being preserved with vinegar, water will suffice, but when I did my strawberry jam last season, I used vinegar actually to wipe the lip, just because the sugar from the strawberries and everything and the sugar that's added could be a little more sticky and harder to come off. In fact, if you'd like to go see that video of me preserving strawberry jam for the very first time last year, I will link it right up here. There's going to see a little bar that's going to come through up here at the top, and you can click on that and go watch and witness me making strawberry jam for the first time. Beautiful. And now, sealing the deal. And I'm so excited. And now we put the rings on, finger tight. Finger tight. This allows any air that's in there to escape during the processing time. It's processing time. Okay, folks. How am I going to identify the sugar ones? Do I have a Sharpie here? I do. I'm just going to put a little S on the tops of these. And that's how I'll know these are the ones that have sugar in the brine. I'm going to put a couple of inches of water in the steam canner. I'm going to put enough water that it reaches the edge of these little openings but doesn't come over the top. Now I'm going to put a splash of vinegar to help prevent hard water stains on our jars and on the pot itself. Let's get this on the stove top. So let's load this canner up. So because we need to process these for 10 minutes, even though these jars are smaller, we go with 10 minutes. I've just set that to about medium high, and I'm going to wait for it to reach temperature. And once it reaches temperature, I'm going to set the timer for 10 minutes. What time is it now? Okay, we've been at this for under an hour. That's not bad for a newbie, I'd say. So I hope you find this encouraging and maybe inspiring to give it a try yourself. All right, see you soon. All right, 10 minutes of processing time are finished. I'm now going to set the timer for about, 5-10 minutes, and we're going to let the jars sit in the steam canner to make sure that there's no siphoning when we open the lid and remove them. And that happens when the hot jars meet cold air and it just creates like a vacuum and sucks the liquid out of the jar. So we want to avoid that. So we're just going to let them relax on the stove top for about 10 minutes or so. Then we get to open up the steam canner and see the results. Ooh, I'm so excited. I'm also getting really tired. Yeah, it's after midnight, 12:26. It's time for this canning extravaganza to be over. It's time. Oh, they look beautiful. I did it, guys. I made pickled asparagus. And there you have it, my friends. We started at about 10:50 tonight. And it is now 12:40, so under 2 hours to can 5 large and 2 small jars of pickled asparagus. I am deeply satisfied and very tired, so I am going to call it a night. If you're newer to our channel and you'd like to know a little bit more about us and who we are, why we're here, what we're doing, I'll put the video right up here of our introductory video of how we've come from the city to the country in our 50s, and we are just getting started. Folks, I appreciate you greatly. I am going to head off to bed, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye for now.